Hello there. If you have picked up a news article in the last few weeks, or maybe in the last few years, you might have a sense of how rapidly things have been changing in the global economy. Some might say it's crazy out there, and perhaps that's true to some extent. In the business world, a crazy world is what we call a VUCA world. In this two-part video series, I will revisit what it means to live in a VUCA world and explore the skills we need as business owners and leaders to thrive in such an environment. I'll be right back. Welcome back. My name is Raymond Huan, and if you own a business, you are interested in business, or you wish to learn about the tips and tricks on how to operate your business better, I encourage you to click on the subscribe button that you see before you right now. As explained in a video that I did previously, VUCA is an acronym that stands for Volatility, Uncertainty, Complexity, and Ambiguity. Volatility describes the intensity of fluctuation or changes over time. The uncertainty describes the unpredictability of events. The complexity describes the factors that influence a situation, no matter how many times they are, how often they interact with each other, and whether they are interdependent. The ambiguity corresponds to the ambiguity of a situation or information. Put simply, a VUCA situation is one that creates a lot of disruption. Think about the COVID-19 pandemic. The effects of the pandemic were complex. It produced a lot of ambiguity and uncertainty and volatility. It's a very uncomfortable situation to be in because we never have experienced it before. And it leaves us disorientated, particularly in the very early stages of the pandemic, and at a loss of how to move forward. However, despite the challenges brought by a VUCA situation, we need to move forward. In crisis, we need a leader who can motivate and compel people to think and act in a way that will solve problems and move the team forward. And what kind of leader is that? What skills should a leader develop and possess to survive and thrive in such a VUCA world? I'd like to share with you 6 of them. Firstly, self-awareness. Then confidence in ambiguity and uncertainty. A solutions orientation with ruthless prioritization. The learning agility and cognitive flexibility, empathy and a people's first approach, and the ability to communicate well and provide clarity. In this first of this two-part video, I will discuss the first 3. That is self-awareness, confidence in ambiguity and uncertainty, and a solutions orientation and ruthless prioritization. Leaders need to be self-aware. Self-awareness means knowing who you are, what you can do, what you want to do, what you cannot do, and what you don't want to do. It entails knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. It also means aligning your actions and decisions to what your values are and what matters most to you. More importantly though, having self-awareness means being aware of our emotions. You are self-aware if you understand and acknowledge your emotions, whether positive or negative. You are conscious of your emotional triggers and you know how to manage them. You can distinguish between your gut feel and your emotions. You don't allow feelings, particularly extreme emotions, to cloud your judgment and decisions. And you decide and act despite your emotions because you follow sound logic and decide based on your values. During times of uncertainty, we look to leaders who are measured in their responses and are in control. We need leaders who can regulate emotion so that they can think clearly. And self-awareness in leaders allows them to think with clarity. They focus on decisions that they can control and use what they can control to solve problems. Leaders who want to succeed in a VUCA world need to be comfortable and confident despite ambiguity and uncertainty. There are ways to develop confidence, and it begins with encouraging experimentation and innovation in teams. They push their teams to focus on making things better. But with experimentation, failure is also inevitable. And this means leaders must develop a healthy view of failure. They accept that failure is part of growth because we learn more from failure than we do in success. Leaders also need to learn how to become comfortable with and not be prejudiced towards change. We need to understand that there are opportunities in change, and this is what sets leaders apart from the rest during tough times. It's being able to focus on finding or even creating opportunities when things change. When a crisis hits, it's easy to get overwhelmed because nothing seems to be going your way. The leaders who thrive in the VUCA situation set themselves apart by avoiding getting overwhelmed. They do this by focusing on things that matter. That is, finding solutions and ensuring that anything we do serves their goal. Leaders who thrive focus on solutions, not problems. They focus on making things work, not on what is not working. They focus on what they have that they can work with, not something they could have had or wish they had. And they focus on things that they have control over and not on things that they cannot. The question they ask is simple. What can we do now to solve this problem or to get us out of this situation? Being solutions orientated requires focus. To focus, you need to prioritize ruthlessly. When great leaders decide on which tasks to take on, they categorize their tasks into 4 basic quadrants and then they decide how to accomplish them. They do it immediately if the task is urgent and important. If it's not urgent but important, they make time for it and they create a schedule in their calendars. If it's urgent but not important, they delegate it to someone else to do it. If it's neither urgent nor important, they delete it off the task list. It's easy to get overwhelmed when everything appears chaotic, but we need leaders who can focus on what matters, and the value is the skills. Self-awareness, confidence in ambiguity and uncertainty, solutions orientation with a ruthless prioritization in providing leaders much needed focus. In a VUCA world, we need leaders who can get things done by focusing on what is important. That is, solving problems, improving how things get done, and finding and even creating opportunities when things change. My name is Raymond Huan. Thank you very much for watching the first part of this video, and I look forward to catching up with you in the next video, which is the second part of this series, very soon.